Hello everyone, this is Mr. Kissinger. We are doing 4th grade math ready lesson 27 today. We're just going to do the guided practice here together on solving problems with line plots. So we're going to get started on this number 18. It says a marine biologist at an aquarium records the lengths of dolphins in feet. Make a line plot of the data shown below. So we don't have any of our labels in here on our line plot, so First, we're going to have to figure out our scale. I want to look and find my smallest number first, and I can identify that smallest number is 8.5. So I'm going to start with 8.5 right here. And I'm going to label down here length in feet. So that way we know what we're talking about when we say 8.5. That's 8.5 feet. And then I want to find my smallest unit fraction that I'm going to be working with. And that's going to be 7/8 I see here. So eighths is what I'm going to want to use for my scale. So this 8.5, I could also look at that as 8 4/8. And then I'm just going to label my graph all the way up to the top in eighths first. So I'm going to start with 8 4/8, and then I'll simplify afterward. So 8 4/8, and I'm just going to go up by an eighth each time. 8 5/8, 8 6/8, 8 7/8. When I get to 8 8/8, that's just 9. 8/8 is one whole. 8 plus 1 is 9. Then I have 9 1/8, 9 2/8, 9 3/8, 9 4/8, 9 5/8, 9 6/8, 9 7/8, and then I have 10. And then I'm going to go back through and I'm going to simplify. I see 8 4/8 here. Well, I know 4/8 is a half, so I can do 8 1/2. I could also just write these below, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase just so I have room here, so I'm not getting into my label. 8 6/8 is 8 3/4. 6/8 simplifies to 3/4. I have 8 7/8. Then I have 9. I have 9 1/8. I have 9 2/8. 2/8 will simplify to 1/4. 2/8 is the same as 1/4. And then I have 9 3/8. Does not simplify. 9 4/8. Well, 4/8 is 1/2. 4 is half of 8. 9 5/8. 9 6/8 is 9 3/4. I have 9 7/8, and I have 10. So when I look at my numbers up here now, these numbers that I have on my line plot should look familiar. So I have as I go from left to right, I'm just going to plot them on my line plot with an X. So I have 8 3/4. Let's find 8 3/4 on here, and I'm going to make an X. And what I'm going to do as I use these is I'm going to cross them out so that I know I've used them. Now I have 9 1/2. Put an X there. Cross that one out. Then I have 9 1/4. 9 1/4. Put an X above there. And I cross that one out. Then I have 8 1/2. Well, 8 1/2 is down here. Cross it out. 8 and 7/8. 8 and 7/8 is right here. 9 and 1/2. Oh, there's another 9 and 1/2 there. Cross it out. Then I have 8 and 1/2. Again, put one right here. Cross it out. 9 and 1/4, or 9 and 1/4, right there. Cross it out. And then 9 and 5/8 goes right here. And then 9 and 1/2. And now I have all of my data on a line plot. So this is really more about scale and how we determine scale. And what we're going to look for is, I always look for my smallest number, make sure that I could, my smallest number goes here. And then if I look at the greatest number that I have, I want to make sure I'm going to have room for it when I make my scale. I want to make sure that my smallest unit fraction, see here I'm dealing with 8s. I look for my largest denominator. My largest denominator will determine what I want to make my increments on my scale. In this case, it was 8ths, so I just went up by 1/8 every time, and then I simplify my fractions so that when I see these simplified fractions up here, I know where to put them on my line plot. So let's continue to number 19. This one, the line plot is kind of filled in for us, and we have to interpret it to solve the problem. It says a park has several trails of different lengths. The lengths of the trails are shown in the line plot. Ellie's family hiked all the trails that are 1 3/8 miles long. How far did they hike? So let's look at 1 3/8 miles right here. So there's two parts to this. I know I have 1, 2, 3 trails, and each trail is 1 3/8 miles long. So I need to add 1 3/8 plus 1 3/8 plus 1 3/8. Since my denominators are the same, I can add those fractions together. So 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 3/8, and then 1 plus 1 plus 1. I could change these into an improper fraction, and I could add them, or I could add. Well, I have 1 plus 3/8 plus 1 plus 3/8 plus 1 plus 3/8 is really what that says. I'm going to take, because of my commutative property of addition, I know I can add them in any order I want. I'm going to add 1 plus 1 plus 1 first, and I get 3 plus 3/8 plus 3/8 plus 3/8. I know since my denominators are the same, I can add my numerators together, and I get 3 plus 9/8. But 9/8, I have a numerator that is larger than my denominator, so that's an improper fraction. So I know I can simplify that. What that really looks like is 8/8, which is 1, 3 plus 8/8, which is 1, plus 1/8. If I look at this as 1, 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1/8 is 4 and 1/8. And remember, we're talking about miles. So we had a little bit of reading a line plot there, and then we had some adding of fractions as well. So we had a little bit of both there. This one says, use the line plot from problem 19. What is the difference in length between the longest trail and the shortest trail? Circle the letter of the correct answer. So we have the longest trail. Well, our longest trail is right here, 1 7/8, and our shortest trail is 3/4. So I need to do 1 7/8 minus 3/4. So our denominators here are not the same, and we need to find a way to make them the same. I know I can make fourths into eighths by doubling it. So if I double my denominator, I can double my numerator, and I can find out what the equivalent fraction is in eighths. So I can also look at this as 1 7/8 minus, a little neater, 1 7/8. Oh, and I wrote a plus. We gotta do minus. And if I double both of these times 2, it would be 6. Times 2 would be 8. So now I know I'm subtracting 6/8. If I subtract, because now that my denominators are the same, I can just subtract the numerator 6 from the numerator 7, and I get 1. I'll still have my 1 here, and I have 1/8 left over. We got 1 1/8 miles, and that would be letter B. All right, so that's all we're going to do for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and look forward to seeing you next time.